I was born and raised in Northwest Missouri, up by Conception Abbey. It just was natural to go on to a Catholic college, and the Benedictines were a very good fit throughout my life. When we encountered the death of our daughter in a horrific murder, then all of a sudden, some of the things that we had kind of casually learned all of a sudden had a deeper meaning. 2 nights after we were in church, we got to the Lord's Prayer, and I got to forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And I was literally struck dumb. I couldn't say those words out loud. I came to understand what being a Christian was about more fundamentally than I had ever understood in my life. And it ultimately turned out to be probably the most tremendous gift. And I probably wouldn't be here today if it were not for that.
The Schiebers, to me, are just remarkable people. The murder of their daughter affected the whole city. There was a public outcry for executing Mr. Grace. Vicki Schieber wrote an open letter to the public saying, not in our name, not to kill Mr. Grace for our loss. We don't want it. With their personal tragedy, they have continued to fight against the death penalty. I know Vicki Schieber has appeared at conferences. I couldn't believe the grace. They are just special, remarkable people.
They were definitely a light, because I'm against the death penalty, but I never went through anything that the two of them went through with the death of their daughter. They had that cross to bear, but yet they did what was the right thing to do, the gospel thing to do. If you follow the gospel, it's not so easy all the time. It's just something that's challenging. And I feel that they met that challenge, and they did it in a way that was full of life and light. And there was a certain peace and calm about them in doing that.
The Schiebers' fingerprints are all over the Catholic movement to end the death penalty. So I think the progress that we've seen both in the legislature and in the clarity of Catholic teaching has to do with the Schiebers being so willing to use their story, to be bold, to be vulnerable, to be exposed about the harm that befell their family, but at the same time, to know that death doesn't have the last word. They have been a light, they have been a witness, they have used everything that they knew how to do in terms of writing and speaking and mobilizing others. They've used all that energy to honor Shannon's life and to bring others along so that we too can have life.
We've had the death penalty, or we had the death penalty in Maryland for 4 centuries. The Schiebers offered a different kind of perspective. They opposed the implementation of wrath and rage, and Maryland's abolition of the death penalty helped to trigger some other states doing it. The Schiebers, to me, are civic heroes for what they've done, and they've really converted their personal pain and hardship and suffering into a mission to redeem and uplift our society.
We don't often think about the families of murder victims, and Vicki and Syl have traveled all over the country sharing their story. Vicki is one of the brightest, warmest, happiest people that I know. And Syl is so strong. Before Shannon was murdered, they both had full careers. And then after Shannon was murdered, they ended up dedicating so much of their time to ending the death penalty. And it's been amazing. We would never be as far along as we are now without them.
I could see from the start that their passion for this cause to overturn the death penalty is about forgiveness. In their own lives, they had to forgive to the point that they could fight for the life of the killer of their daughter. That is profound in the sense that to see this individual, whom as the Psalm says, they could hate with a perfect hate, to say that person still has the dignity of Christ in them. The monks of the Abbey and me personally are so grateful for their witness to the dignity of the human person, and their witness to the beauty of the mercy of Christ.
The monks of St. Benedict's Abbey are proud to present the Lumen Vitae Medal to Vicki and Syl Schieber.